We have a couple of your messages. You want to take a couple?
I do. This
one.
is Apia George, who says, Mama V, please help me congratulate my mentor in poultry farming, Mr. Ibrahim Musa of IM Unity Farms, Doma Ahinkro, for the 2015 National Best Farmer Award. Okay, so I wish him all the best. Dedicate any music you play to him. That will be the earlier reflection music that we played. So Apia George, thank you very much for the message.
Well, let's look at what the stories are on the news portal majoronline.com, where thousands displays in England after floods, and we know that there's consistent flooding in Chennai recorded over the weekend, and even the domestic terminal of the local airports there also was affected, including many homes actually. Terrible times, but it's all just because of changing in climatic weather, so to speak, yes. And Edwin Lologist lab, I don't believe in heaven. I don't know.
The new suicide bomber with an old grenade. So this is the UT boss.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next. We know.
But it's a piece which will be interesting if you want to read.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their views. So I like his views, though. I mean, 22 arrested, fined for not taking part in sanitation day exercise, and apparently the Langquantanan Medina Municipal Assembly Sanitation Task Force on Saturday arrested 22 persons and instantly fined them for not taking part in the 14th National Sanitation Day within its jurisdiction. I hope that...
you know, I used to live here, Langquantanan.
Okay. Yeah, great. Yeah, that's what we need to. We need to be making sure that the regulations
You don't want to hear my opinion on this month's Sanitation Day exercise.
Okay, let's read this one, and then we can get a lot more of your opinion closer there. We have simple, fabulous, and romantic, and it's an opinionated column. So please go log on to that very page, go to the opinion section and read. We have matters arising from the African climate position. We're hearing that they've voted a chunk of money. The point is, if we don't have programs to access that money, the money will just go back to the donors. Next, we look at Bagbe must prove MPP sabotage power badge. That's Akomia, who is the director of communications for the MPP, according to the story, said to be demanding. Next, Tyson Fury to critics sack my and help Sporty petition, and labels Sporty petition as 50,000. Well, and you know, we know that he's the surprise current WBC world champion, heavyweight champion. Look at his face.
But he is so not nice in terms of his the words that
I was reading
uses.
A story in the UK Guardian about how he met his wife, and he seems to be a very cool lad. You know, he's still very young.
What about the words that come out of his mouth?
Well, that's he's just a hard guy, street guy, you know.
Oh, okay.
You need to be hard that way to become a tough champion.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, now that he's gotten a lot more fame, he just needs to manage all that. That's the most important thing. We have 1,000 displays in England floods. Fred decided to repeat that for us, but no problem. We have Opoku Gakpo writes, when a nation fails to put our money where our mouth is, I'm sure that was supposed to coincide with the Friday holiday period. We're celebrating Farmers' Day, and Opoku Gakpo, the journalist farmer. I hope this will encourage him to invest in farming. He's clinging onto a cocoa tree. Opoku Gakpo, my good friend. Right, so let's go up, see whether we can get some stories. What we must prove, MPP sabotage power badge, we know a lot more about that already. And let's go up. This one will make it interesting. Chachu sues Katie Hammond for defamation. Okay. Okay. Now let's read. Indiscipline is MPP's problem. We're now going by law. Let's read this one. Full read. And Nana Komia is the communication director for the. I'm sure you're saying this on Newsfile. If not, Newsfile should be Newsfile. Director of communications of the MPP has admitted that the major problem facing the MPP is indiscipline, and they have resolved to uproot it. And according to Nana Komia, the party tried a number of solutions, and these included negotiations and arbitration, but all have failed. And so now, Charlie, they are taking the bull by the horn. And so that's how it is. He was speaking on Joy FM's Newsfile program, and Saturday, Akomia said the party is now going by the law to end the state of lawlessness and indiscipline. And we know the program is also shown on Joy News' this very channel as well. So the MPP over the last few months has made all the headlines for all the wrong reasons. And disagreements between key party officials have culminated into violent exchanges, two of which have led to the deaths of 2 people. Mamavi.
Let's do CTFM online quickly. Let's check out what they are reporting this Monday. So government scraps teacher motivation allowance. 2 kids escaped death in Achimota fire incident. Ex gratia payment. Chikato sues Katie Hammond for defamation. Government spent 120 million Ghana cedis on in agriculture in 2015. That's according to the president. You'll find MP backs sale of school land for shopping mall. 120
it's still
million,
inadequate. Very much inadequate
in 2015. Well, why don't we? What we have to interrogate perhaps is exactly what the 120 Ghana cedis was used for.
But I know over the period, government has invested in irrigation facilities and things and building such facilities to make sure that. But the point is, we need to be investing a lot more in it. One, we know that it's one of the sectors that could complement not only in improving the economy, employment generation, and giving a lot more skill to young people, and more so the farmers, ensuring that we have food security.
Sure.
Because we import a lot.
Yeah.
If you look at the agricultural imports that we tend to import and the processed foods, which we could have otherwise done here, we should, if we do with the mathematics, then if we're importing rice about $400–500 million a year, $120 million in agriculture is woefully inadequate. You can't just breed it. It doesn't
true.
make.
I agree. Ghana Navy names new warship after late Dagbon Kin. That's a lot of people. In fact, we all say, you know, kudos to the Ghana Navy for doing this. Really, really important. Let's check out the last website that will go. That will be the BBC. Our interest is the Africa page. Libya factions reach tentative deal. I hope this is real, because Libya, we don't even know who is in charge of Libya today. So many factions, very divided. People are beginning to question whether that invasion was even important in the first place. And some people also believe this has actually made way for a lot more ISIS invasion into Europe. So, okay, if there's going to be peace, it will be good. We hope that this is real. Nigeria's $500 million type-in error. What is this really about? You can, if you're interested, get into the details. China-Africa cooperation win-win. South African President Jacob Zuma says closer ties between Africa and China will be a win-win cooperation. Africa seems to like China very much these days, and America and co are very worried. They haven't invested much in Africa. China is taking advantage of it.
Yeah, China is building infrastructure.
Yeah,
they're taking our resources, but they're building infrastructure as well. The things are only that the money just goes. It's the same way of doing things. The money just goes back to another continent, to another country. The point is, even for the Chinese who tend to come, do we have transfer of skills and technology? Because looking at how we've dealt with our development partners and even our colonial masters over the years, over the decades, are we getting something out of these? That's the whole thing we need to think about. For example, if the Chinese come to work 24 hours a day and help repair our roads or build or construct new facilities for us, by the time they leave, have they left enough technology for us?
So that we can
what China did was
over.
close its doors 20 years. And by the time they opened their doors, they replicated what the Europeans did and the Americans did. So they manufactured the same thing for you. It may not be stronger, but over time, they've perfected.
Yeah.
And that's how come we're going for them. So what's our strategy?
Maybe it's the infrastructure. We just need them to build the infrastructure. That's all. They shouldn't leave any skill behind.
It's got a pros and cons effect.
Exactly,
well.
It's true.
We'll get the structures, but we won't get the skill to replicate. So it means that after 10 years, we have to still go back for them. Anyway.
3 suicide attacks have hit an island on Lake Chad. Very sad, killing at least 27 people, security sources have said. That will be it for the stories that we're looking at on the Africa page, the BBC. And really, that will be it for the review. Let me say good morning to Gilbert from Sandema. He says he watches us every day before he goes to work. So thank you very much. Please, is it really true that there was hot exchanges between our president and President Obasanjo? Is Gafaro who is sending us this?
You know what's happening on social media, especially on Facebook? There are these satirical pages that have come now. For example, one will take you, if we can get screwlife.com, if we can get screwlife.com.
They have weird stories
Yes,
attributed to very prominent people.
Yes, and you go to Screwlife. If we can get screwlife.com, as in screwlife.com, we click right now, we'll get to see stories that are all lies. But they are supposed to be satirical. And then people post them, and even we're having political commentators make comments on them, and they seem to be true. I think that we and even what's happening, even mainstream media is replicating.
Some people are picking it.
And this is screwlife.com. All the stories here, really, many of them are not true. Okay? Many of them are not true.
Yeah?
Okay, so you get to find that there are things that you get to, and they are usually, like for example, it says Nana Aba Namwana works for Al Jazeera and Arabic and Chi. She was on the station's UK channel this afternoon as a newscaster. It's supposed to be satirical.
Okay.
Okay, it says close friends.
But why do they
For
mix
example,
it?
it says close friends of Zenato Rollins say Herbert Mensah is not even the father of the two kids, so he can go to whatever court he. You see, this one looks like it's real, but it's not true. You read a story just to create some amusement for you to laugh and think that, well, on the other side, this is how the story could.
But is there a disclaimer? I mean, have they said anywhere
For example,
that
this one.
all these stories that you see are not real?
For
and
example,
that kind
it says,
of thing?
it says Antwa Shrine Chief Priest says the gods had traveled to India when the thieves came to. You know, it's supposed to be satiric. It's supposed to make you laugh. These stories are apparently being published in mainstream media, and that's very sad.
It's true. Because
as educated journalists, you should know what is supposed to be for effect, supposed to be for humor, and not trying to replicate that. And sometimes we have to be serious. And sometimes you're in a situation where, because you're a journalist, if you correct, let's say, the president's story, and you say it is not true, I'm speaking based on ethics and value. And they say, oh, maybe you're NDC because you are saying that this happened, and you are saying it didn't happen. It doesn't make sense.
So then you stay out of it.
Yeah,
even
you try
though
to
you know
stay.
the facts.
But if I wade in, then I'll be educating a lot more people.
Yeah.
But it's also because we don't read. In the literary world, a lot of things are written. People do act for effect, and there's nothing wrong with it. But
okay. All right, then let me concentrate on the messages, not the stories that are not true, really. Good morning, my dear Roland and lovely Mama V. December 3rd was International Day of People with Disability. Many challenges facing PWDs, ranging from unemployment to lack of access to public places, such as the lift in Accra Sports Stadium and a host of others. I plead with multimedia to show this over and over until government finds lasting solution. Yes, we hear you. Someone from Wale Wale, an unemployed disabled university graduate. We hope that you get a job very soon, but don't call yourself unemployed graduates. That's not good. Begin to say positive things, I mean, and try and do
be
something.
optimistic. You'll be surprised. What you think and what you dream about is what you achieve. What you say and espouse comes into being or into life.
Yeah.
Really.
We've got lots of your messages, but we've also got Benedict Owusu Dampon on standby, who has got some sports. So we'll let him come and update us on the latest sports news, and then when we come back, we'll share a lot more of your views with you here on our show.
Just stay on. We'll be right back.